6 hash star 811 star 81
Boyote hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM, ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitizama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353, alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka, kwenye Quickwin ni bidhaa bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini.
Did you know that disease and accidents occur suddenly and when least expected? If you have a medical insurance policy, it gives you peace of mind knowing that your medical expenses will be catered for by insurer up to your policy limit. Now you know. IRA, promoting insurance, protecting the insured. Next on.
Kama tukiri pesa uonge kwa hivyo huko, hii shati literemka kutoka binguni kakupata kwa mwili.
Wewe mama unafukuza mchungaji. Wacha nikuambie. Biblia inasema tunatingisha huu chafu na
katingishia huko.
Nasema hivi, umekuwa ukilia usiku na mchana. Unataka mtu karibu na wewe. You need company, my sister. This is time for your breakthrough.
Hebu let me go. Ni nini wewe?
Tufungulie, mlale.
Kwani hapa ni kwako?
Tufungue.
Hebu, unaenda wapi?
Si kwangu.
Kwani hapa ni kwako? Nakuulizaje, hapa ni kwako?
Kwa si bibi yangu.
Nani bibi yako?
Huo ni ungwana.
Next on.
Kwamba mke wangu aliniacha kwa sababu sikumpa mapenzi. Umejibu mwenyewe. Mwanamke bwana, mambo mawili bwana. Kula na kuvaa.
Huwezi kunizuia mimi kwenda hiyo semina kwa taarifa yangu. Umenielewa? Upende, usipende, nitakwenda semina kwa sababu mimi siku zote najulikana ninachokianzisha huwa sikiache kama hakijafika mwisho wake. Masudi pole.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
So the 6 of you invaded a whole country.
Got a live one.
Barnett, what are we doing live Nazis? There you go.
We're getting out.
A friend of yours? Not exactly.
Battle Force. This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Kivipi?
Mimi ni mtu mzima. Na maisha ambayo naishi pale nyumbani sijisikii kama niko comfortable. Babangu aliniahidi kitambo sana atanisaidia mimi kwa mambo mengine kutoboa life. Lakini hata moja hajanifanyia.
Mbona unisukuma hivyo lakini?
Tulia, mimi nishakwambia tulia.
Na tulia nini sasa? Mimi sija kufuata wewe, nimemfuata babako.
Hujui kama hapa ni mjini? Huyu akisema yuaniteleza, huyu nashika. Upo. Unalana.
Good afternoon. Thank you for keeping it KBC Channel 1. This is the lunchtime news. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. My co-anchor in sign language interpretation is Lucy Mwaura. President Uhuru Kenyatta is in the county of Lamu to commission the port of Lamu, one that is expected to boost trade between Kenya, South Sudan, and also areas around the region. My colleague, Michael Mwandiga, is with the delegation. Will be crossing over live to the county of Lamu as and when Mwandiga advises. Do interact with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now, a consortium of civil society organizations are calling on the Auditor General to immediately conduct an audit of all public resources used in BBI process and have those involved surcharged. The group claims since the High Court has declared the entire process unconstitutional, officers who committed public resources to the process must be held to account. The lobbyists are also accusing the political class of antagonizing the judiciary for the ruling.
That the President, all public institutions and officers, both at national and county level, in public interest, cease and desist from using public resources, including the deployment of public officers and other civil servants on the BBI process. Secondly, we ask that the Auditor General immediately and expeditiously conducts an audit of all public resources, both monetary and non-monetary resources that have been utilized in the BBI process from its inception to date, including the sources, and prepare and publish a report that will be accessible to the public. And lastly, on the use of public resources, we ask that the President is held personally liable for funds expended on this process, having been adjudged as illegal and unconstitutional.
That all future initiatives requiring public participation should adhere to the rule of law, to the laws of Kenya, and to established jurisprudence and best practices.
The government has launched intensive 35-day polio immunization campaign in 13 counties following confirmation of 6 polio cases in the country. The campaign, which kicks off this Friday, targets 3.4 million children of up to 5 years of age.
The 6 cases of polio confirmed in February this year in Mombasa and Garissa counties by the Ministry of Health has necessitated the government plan to conduct emergency polio campaigns in line with Global Polio Eradication Initiative. Director of Public Health Francis Kuria says the campaign targets 3.4 million children and will be rolled out in 13 counties identified as high risk.
When we succeed in eradicating polio, no child, parent, or caregiver will ever suffer the pain of polio paralysis.
We look out for any child with weakness, sudden weakness in one of the legs or one of the arms or both, routinely.
The counties are Mandera, Isiolo, Wajir, Garissa, Lamu, Tana River, Kilifi, Mombasa, Kitui, Machakos, Kajiado, Kiambu, and Nairobi.
During the polio outbreak that occurred in Garissa County in 2013, 14 people were paralyzed by polio, and another 2 died following complications arising from the disease.
In terms of the immunization performance, or in terms of us arriving at these 12 counties, which we are targeting, one, it is a process where we continuously monitor the performance of these counties.
The campaign, which will be in 2 phases, will officially commence from Friday, the 22nd of May 2021, and will run till the 26th of June 2021. Dr. Kuria lauded the media for highlighting and sensitizing members of the public on the importance of the vaccination.
We accredit most of this to the 4 states. You've been there with us, I think, since 28th February, every day, Sunday and Saturday and Sunday included, as we do our press briefings. And we spread the gospel so nicely, so well.
So getting a disease from polio when you've been vaccinated properly is very unlikely, and by the same token, the adult is less likely.
He further called on parents and other stakeholders to expedite the campaign to ensure all children below 5 years get vaccinated against polio. In the meantime, Dr. Kuria says the government will take necessary actions, including enforcing the Public Health Act, to ensure all children enjoy this fundamental right. He assured members of the public that all the vaccines administered by the government are safe.
Remains one of the serious illnesses which not only causes paralysis and disability, but can also kill.
Cases of polio around the world has reduced significantly by over 99% since 1988, from an estimated 350,000 cases. Timothy Kipnusu, Channel 1 News.
Police in Busia County are investigating the cause of a fire that destroyed property at the St. Teresa of Calcutta Township Secondary School in Teso South. The fire is reported to have sparked off at the administration's block, burning down learning materials along the school's administration's records.
This is the aftermath of a fire outbreak at Township Secondary School in Teso South. The fire, which is reported to have started at 8 p.m. on Wednesday night at the head teacher's office, spread to the adjacent deputy head teacher's office, raising down learning materials and other crucial administration's records.
Tumepoteza furniture ambayo ilivunjika na madirisha ambayo yalivunjika. Ningeomba vyombo vya usalama viweze kuchunguza ili tujue shida ilikuwa wapi.
Busia Education Director Tharius Awor, who confirmed the incident, called on other school heads to assist the school ensure learning is not hampered by the crisis.
Asubuhi ya leo nilikuwa na principals nikawaomba ya kwamba kama kuna wale wako na excess textbooks, kwa sababu shule nyingi zilikuwa na excess textbooks walipopatiwa na Wizara ya Elimu, waweze kuchangia ili shule hiyo iweze kuendelea.
Governor Charity Ngilu has warned sand harvesters in the region of contravening an existing moratorium on the trade. Ngilu says her administration has set aside sand harvesting areas, but some unscrupulous traders are still encroaching on non-designated species.
Speaking at Kivu River, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu called upon police officers to ensure no lorry goes to any river in Mwingi to scoop sand, terming the act illegal.
Our riverbeds, our rivers are really our main source of water here in Kitui. But if you look at this river, it has been badly destroyed to the extent where only stones, you see stones anymore, you don't see a river.
Ngilu, however, said sand harvesters will be permitted by the county government to scoop sand at Kiromboko, which neighbors Kiambere Dam in Mwingi West.
I want to say anybody who wants to carry sand should go and carry sand in a place called Kiroboko. It's a lot of it, and we will authorize them to do so. But any other river in Kitui, we have said no.
Sand harvesting has been a decades-old income earner for hundreds of Kitui residents, though the trade has been slowed over the years due to its negative impact on the environment. For Channel 1 News, I'm Jacqueline Masharia.
A former student from Butere Girls School in Kakamega County has reportedly gone missing. The school administration says Maureen Nzilani never returned with her colleagues after attending church service last Saturday.
According to the school management, Maureen Nzilani was in the company of other Christian Union students who had gone to attend prayers in a nearby church. She never returned. Her mother, Irene Muchuma, who has been making frequent trips to Butere police station for the past 5 days, says Maureen, who was supposed to be in school, called her saying she was in Mumias town and later disconnected the call.
Mara ya mwisho alionekana Mumias. Alinipigia simu on Sunday 1:30. Akaniambia, "Mom, nasikia vibaya."
The mother then called the class teacher to inform him about the unexpected call.
Nikapigia class teacher wake simu. Nikamwambia, "Unajua Morina yuko shule." Akaniambia alipigiwa simu saa 4 ya usiku. akajulishwa Maureen hayuko shule.
The matter has since been reported to the police station and investigations are underway. The family is appealing to anyone with information on the whereabouts of Maureen to report to the nearest police station or to the school.
Mwenye ataona huyo mtoto watu itanie tupate kupata huyo mtoto. Ni mfupi, ni mweusi, rangi ya kunde, na anashikanga nywele hivi katikati.
12 suspects arrested on the eve of Bonchari by-election have conditionally been released by Akisi Court. The group has been ordered to report to the Office of the Directorate of Criminal Investigation once a week for 1 month, pending the completion of the investigations on the offences they were alleged to have committed. The prosecution had sought orders to hold the suspects in police custody for 7 days.
Kisii Chief Magistrate Stephen Onjoro has rejected an application by the government to detain a group of suspects linked to electoral malpractice in the just concluded Bonchari by-election. The magistrate observed that the state was not acting in good faith in the application, having failed to formally charge the suspects and present them in court within the stipulated time.
Noting that the suspects have been in custody since the 17th of May 2021 without any formal charge, I order for their immediate release on condition that they be reporting to the Kisii DCI officers once a week for the next 1 month to enable completion of investigations or until they are formally charged.
No proof was adduced on how the suspects could have interfered with investigations. If released, he remarked. Bonchari MP-elect Pavel Oimeke, speaking outside the courtroom, hailed the ruling, terming it independent.
The judiciary has exercised independence in terms of making their decisions, and I want to say that which is very good for this country, instead of relying on police who just want to find mistakes in people. So we leave it to the courts and we respect the verdict.
Meanwhile, a family in Eshisiru village, Lurambi, Kakamega County, is mourning the death of one of their own whom they claim was killed in the line of duty. 31-year-old Enoch Mukoshi, who was a Kenya Defence Forces soldier, is said to have been killed during an Al-Shabaab attack in Lamu.
Kila wakati huwa ananiambia, mama, mimi natoka naenda kazini. Namwambia, huoni kazi yako ni hatari? Akaniambia siku ingine, mama, na hata nikikufa, watu wenye wanafiria huko sini watoto wa wanawake tu kama wewe. Ni kitu mbaya nikikufa nikilinda inchi. Nikaona ako na determination yenye uwezi wachisha chochote ambacho alitamani.
His parents, Charles Mukoshi and Agnes Mukoshi, say they received a phone call from one of his colleagues who informed them of the incident. The family is calling on the government to support them.
Ni huzuni mwingi kwa sababu huyu ni kijana ambao tulikuwa tumetegemea. Mimi sifanyi kazi, mama yake ndio huyu afanyi kazi, tuko hapa. Na yeye ndiye alikuwa amechukua jukumu ya kutulinda sisi.
Sijawahi kupigwa pigo la aina hii. Ningependa tu ya kwamba serikali ifanye jitihada zozote, wapende wanisafirishie mtoto kutoka kule ambako amefiria. Nitashukuru.
Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Channel 1 News.
You're watching Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Thank you for staying with us. It is Thursday and we give more focus on business news. It is also World Bees Day. On this International Day, we acknowledge the role of bees and other pollinators in the ecosystem. Do interact with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. We are taking a short break. We'll be back with more, including sports news.
Je, umeomoka? Kama hujaomoka kwenye QuickBay ndio mambo yote. Hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM, ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitizama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353, alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka, kwenye QuickBay ni bidhaa bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Why should I listen to him? My dad's coming to pick me up.
But if you don't go today, you might as well ask for a day off and stay at home. They'll never let you off so easily.
School's been out for over an hour and he still hasn't come to pick up Xiaotian.
Oh, then you should call him and see what's up.
I did, but it didn't go through.
Did he sound upset?
No,
Not even a little?
not a bit.
You're a brilliant kid. Who do you take after?
Welcome back. Now, Taita Taveta County government is set to establish a coast region training base specializing in highway technology. The project, which is being implemented in partnership with the Kenya Institute of Highways Bridging Technology and the World Bank, is aimed at transforming the sector to a regional flagship technical and vocational education and training TVET institute.
Speaking while touring a section of the ongoing road construction works in Taita Taveta County, Kenya Institute of Highways and Building Technology Deputy Director Geoffrey Githiri termed the county's proximity to neighboring country Tanzania as the base factor for the institute to extrapolate her skills beyond the coastal region.
We shall be a center whereby contractors, county officials, engineers, professionals in the sector can come in for training in identified disciplines that are required or needed by the market. So it shall also be a center that will be responsive to the needs of the region.
Githiri is now calling upon the county government to hasten the designing and signing of an MOU, a move he says will transform livelihoods of the county residents, including the youth and women.
Most of the roads and bridges, like the one behind us and things like that, are best done using labor-based methods so that people, youth especially, can be able to be involved. But also we'd want to find ways to integrate the women in it, because we'd also want to popularize the sector to the women.
The project is being implemented in partnership between the Taita Taveta County Government and the Kenya Institute of Highways and Building Technology, and funded by the World Bank under the East African Skills for Transformation and Regional Integration Project. Speaking at the Governor's Boardroom, Mwatate, when he hosted the team, Taita Taveta Chief Officer in charge of roads, housing and public works and infrastructure, Leonard Langat, welcomed the move, saying it will go a long way to address the issue of roads being taken back to the county government from the national government without maintenance funds.
The major challenge we have been facing is that of funding, and then the changes, the additional roles we are being given without corresponding additional funding. So that is a major challenge we are facing as a county. So if we partner with your institution, I know there will be an area which we might even do with very little budget.
We had fruitful discussions with the county And we are hoping soon we shall be able to sign a cooperation agreement which shall domicile most of the things that we have discussed. And this shall be followed by us sitting down and working down a cooperation program.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Safin Aching Ouma.
More than 250 traders from Mumias West in Kakamega County are set to benefit from 2 new modern markets in the area. The 2 markets, Musanda and Buchifi, have been commissioned at a cost of 100 million shillings.
Musanda Market will be constructed at a cost of 36 million shillings.
Michael Mwandiga in the county of Lamu is advising that we cross over this as His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta is addressing the nation ahead of the commissioning of the Lamu port.
By opening up the northern part of Kenya to real development. And this is where jobs are going to come from. The whole objective here is to ensure that the issue of marginalization of certain parts of the country is dealt with once and for all. With the port, with the roads that we are now doing, this will improve the ability of people to invest in this area, thereby creating much needed jobs for our young people. And this is the whole objective. People are saying, where are the jobs? Where are the jobs? Jobs will follow infrastructure. Where there is no infrastructure, it is impossible to get jobs. And that is why a lot of these areas have been left behind, because for many years they have been neglected in terms of infrastructural development. And this is what we are trying to remedy. This is what we are trying to fix, because once we have the right infrastructure, automatically jobs will now follow. When jobs follow, it means that people are gainfully employed. It means better security, because now our young people, instead of being enticed to go and join terrorist organizations and etc., will be working at the port, will be working at various other businesses that will establish themselves because of this infrastructure. So it is important for Kenyans to understand that whereas the rewards are not today, tomorrow, because of the works that we're doing, it will mean opportunities. And those opportunities will mean a safer Kenya, a more prosperous Kenya, a more equitable Kenya. This is the main import of this project, and I really want to encourage the contractor, the ministry, and all those who are involved to ensure that the job is completed on time, on budget, and we proceed, and I expect that we shall be here early next year to ensure that we now launch this road and bring about the transformation that we are looking for our country. Na haya machache nasema Mungu awabariki jameni. Asanteni sana. And sorry, I just want to comment, working also in conjunction kuhakikisha barabara zenu za kwenda Baragoi, za kufika kule watu Kiunga, they are part of this project, which also will improve the security of the area and ensure that we are better able also to deal with the threats that we have. So that is also part of this project. Please, let's all work together. Teamwork is what is essential to ensure that it is done. Asante.
I'd like to mark the occasion by you flagging off some of these vehicles over there, so that at least they can officially know that it's been launched. Yeah.
President Uhuru Kenyatta in the county of Lamu, he is addressing the nation. This as he emphasized on the role in the ports of Lamu, and he says this will boost trade majorly for residents in the area. This, as we know, that will improve cargo movements between Kenya, Ethiopia, and South Sudan. Now, back to Mumias. More than 250 traders from Mumias West in Kakamega County are set to benefit from 2 new modern markets. The 2 markets, Musanda and Buchifi, have been commissioned at a cost of 100 million shillings.
Musanda Market will be constructed at a cost of 36 million shillings and is projected to accommodate 100 businesses, while Buchife will be constructed at a cost of 54 million shillings and will accommodate 150 businesses. While commissioning the project, the State Department for Urban Housing Development Principal Secretary Charles Hinga stated that the government has put in place measures through empowering communities by initiating income-generating activities, installation and physical infrastructure.
Hata mikopo midogo midogo ambayo unaweza chukua, guarantee kuna 3 billion ambayo imewekwa sasa. Hiyo 3 billion si ya watu wa Nairobi, ni ya wafanyabiashara nyinyi wadogo.
The PS cited laxity by some state officers on delivering their mandate. He at the same time called on the management of the new markets to ensure fair distribution of the stalls.
Hiyo list ikiwekwa hapa hivi ukute jina yako haiko na mmeweka jamaa huko ambayo unajua huyu si trader, tunachomoa yeye.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Ruiru Town is set to receive a major facelift after the government commenced the carpeting of roads that have been in a deplorable state for years now. The government, through the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, KURA, and the Kenya National Highways Authority, KENHA, will also recarpet the 16.8-kilometer road between Ruiru and Kiambu. Ruiru Member of Parliament Simon Kingara says the project will bring some much-needed reprieve to residents, traders, and the transport sector.
Kupitia KENHA ambayo ni wale watu wanatengeneza barabara zile kubwa kubwa, wameona changamoto yetu na wakakubali kuja kusaidiana na sisi kuona wameongeza rami ndio barabara zetu ziweze kubeba magari makubwa.
Kutengenezwa kwa barabara hii ambayo imetusumbua kwa muda, na tunasema asante kwa sababu inatengenezwa vizuri, akiweka drainage, kwa sababu bila drainage haingekuwa sawa.
Mheshimiwa wenye wanatutengenezea barabara juu, at least barabara ikiwa nzuri, mpaka pengine sectors kama ambulance itaweza kuingia kwa urahisi, ichukue pengine mgonjwa kwa urahisi. Hata watoto wetu walikuwa wanateseka, wakifika pengine barabara ni mbaya, jam zinaingia, mtoto afika shule akiwa amechoka, hiyo masaa kupeleka mtoto wa shule kumrudia tena inakuwa pengine masaa mingi inapotea kwa barabara.
Across the borders, a senior Hamas official has said that he expects Israel and Gaza militants to reach a ceasefire within a day or two as cross-border attacks continue. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on until calm and security is restored to Israelis.
There were more than 100 Israeli airstrikes on Hamas infrastructure in the north of Gaza early on Thursday as Palestinian militants retaliated with rocket fire in Israel. The Gaza fighting began after weeks of rising Israeli-Palestinian tension in occupied East Jerusalem that culminated in clashes at a holy site revered by both Muslims and Jews. Elsewhere, Singapore and Taiwan have seen a sudden and aggressive rise in COVID cases this month after being hailed as the places with zero or single-digit cases since the beginning of this year. Singapore had 248 cases last week and Taiwan 1,200 local infections. Both countries have gone into a heightened state of restrictions, limiting the size of social gatherings and closing schools. Meanwhile, police in Guatemala say at least 4 prisoners have been beheaded during a fight between rival gangs. The fight between inmates from the Mara Salvatrucha and Barrio 18 gangs, along with other gangs linked to drug trade, took place in the Cantel prison located in Quetzaltenango. The prison, 200 kilometers from the capital, has more than 2,000 inmates.
Thank you for staying with us. Time for business news. Construction of Kenya's maritime headquarters in Mombasa is now 94% complete and will be ready for occupation by August this year. Transport Chief Administrative Secretary Wavinya Ndeti says the 2 billion shillings building will house the Maritime Technology Cooperation Center for the African region and would be a one-stop shop for Africa maritime affairs.
The construction work of the 18-story building, which started in February last year, has had several delays, mostly due to approval challenges. Initially, the government had earmarked 1.8 billion shillings as the original cost, that has since increased by 200 million shillings. However, the development is seen as a move that will help Kenya inch closer to becoming a world maritime hub.
This building is very key to the blue economy of this country, and it's a landmark building that is going to usher the new way, the new economical way in Kenya.
The Maritime Technology Cooperation Center is one of the 5 centers in the International Maritime Organization, which is setting up across the globe.
We know we have a committee that is also dealing with the blue economy, and working all of us together, we want to make sure that now Kenyans venture into the sea to do business, not just looking at mainland.
The office complex being constructed will have an observatory level and a roof featuring a helipad, while external components of the block will include a biodigester, parking space, and entry and exit gates with a sentry box.
It has the facilities to provide for conference functions on matters addressing blue economy, and so then it's going to be a landmark in Mombasa to provide how we can be able to deal with the water issues, safety, security in the waters, the capacity building for our seafarers.
The headquarters will house a number of government agencies set up to deliver a sustainable blue economy. Alan Aoko, Channel 1 Business.
In the macadamia and passion fruit value chain are set to be trained on the best crop husbandry through financing from the European Union. Anthony Nyaga, a phytologist at the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, says the 473.9 million shillings European Union funded program targets to improve the quality of macadamia and passion fruits produced in Kenya and destined for the international markets.
Despite an increased demand for macadamia in the international market and Kenya exporting 98% of our macadamia produce, farmers are yet to fully benefit from the crop. The Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization says poor quality macadamia exports have driven down Kenya's macadamia prices in the international market. The high prices of macadamia seedlings that cost about 500 shillings has seen farmers recycle low-yielding seedlings.
The farmers find it very difficult to access what you may call high-quality green planting material. And when available, it is too expensive by the reach of the farmer, because only the elite or the...
To ensure farmers secure affordable high-yielding quality seeds, the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, in collaboration with the European Union-funded Market Access Upgrade Program, targets to train 120,000 macadamia and passion fruit farmers and value chain players in 12 counties on proper grafting techniques.
We sell our grafted material to the farmers because now these ones will be able to grow and you get your fruit and you can be able to sell your fruit for export market, which is disease-free, which is clean, which has a good color.
But we hope when we train much more nursery operators and much more of other operators in the field, we hope we can be able to bring the costs of the seedlings, because when farmers are able to access the seedlings near their place, then it becomes less of a problem.
Currently, Kenya farmers harvest 40 kilos of macadamia per tree, but high-yielding drought-resistant varieties can produce up to 300 kilos per tree. The new yellow passion fruit variety yields on average double what is harvested from the mostly grown purple variety.
Advise the farmers to source their planting material from certified nurseries. From certified nurseries, they are sure that whatever they are buying is clean planting material.
The 473.9 million shillings EU-funded markup project is earmarked to reduce farmers' cost of production and help them access international markets. Benson Rioba reporting for Channel 1 Business.
Now we go back to Lamu, where President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to launch Lamu Port. My colleague Michael Mwandiga says the port will be manned by the Kenya Ports Authority and will be made of good standards compared to that one in the county of Mombasa, and thus will boost trade not only in the coastal of region but also in other parts of the world. Mwandiga, good afternoon from wherever you are. Bring us up to speed with the picture in the county of Lamu. Well, Mwandiga will be joining us later in this bulletin. In other news making headlines this afternoon, traders in the border town of Moyale have decried the deplorable state of roads in the area, led by Moyale Business Community Chairperson Ali Nur Mumin. The traders say the poor road network has made it difficult to navigate, especially during the rainy season. They are calling on the county government to fix the roads.
Residents in Moyale are up in arms. They say the poor road network has made it difficult to conduct business and access essential services. The traders, led by Moyale Business Community Chairperson Ali Nur Mumin, says navigating through Biashara Street and the open-air market is a daunting task.
This kind of road, which is leading to a very vulnerable, situation, is very harmful. It will even avert cholera. When you see this water here, it's been lying here for the last 1 month.
Kama mara tano mara sita imewekwa maram. Nayo maram ni maram ya unga, powder. Mvua ikinyesha hiyo powder inakuwa uji.
Barabara yetu ni chafu, inanuka mbaya.
The traders accuse the county government of Marsabit of neglecting their plight, adding that cries to fix the road and collect the huge heaps of garbage around the market have fallen on deaf ears.
This road has been serving the entire Moyale constituency or Moyale sub-county for that matter. What we are seeing is this vacuum of leadership, both from county government and national government.
Critical ni kuwa tuko na serikali mbili, ya county na pia ya serikali kuu, ambayo hakuna moja ambayo ameweza kufikiria yale ambao yanasumbua wananchi.
They are calling on the county government to move with speed and rehabilitate the roads in order to ease movement of people and goods, especially during rainy season.
We are once again appealing to see this situation maybe on a tarmac basis, because the contractor was awarded like 6 million shillings 3 months ago. It just rained one time, then everything went awash.
Mumin says huge heaps of garbage have become a health hazard for people working in the area.
Well, my colleague Michael Mwandiga is currently on standby. As I mentioned earlier, President Uhuru Kenyatta is set to launch the Lamu Port. This is expected to boost trade, especially along countries bordering the border with Kenya and also the coastal region, and moving on to other parts of the country. Mwandiga, good afternoon. Paint for us the picture in the county of Lamu.
Well, good afternoon, Muchuma. We are coming to you live from the Lamu Port in Lamu County. We are waiting now. In a few moments, the head of state, President Uhuru Kenyatta, is expected here to officially launch the port of Lamu to start its operations. Of course, now as it stands, the berth number 1 is complete, and this is under the LAPSET project, where it is going or it is being worked in phases. The first phase is already complete, with berth 1 complete and ready for use. The second berth and the third berth are ready, but the yards are at 90% completion. They will be ready after at the end of the year. And after the completion of this port, it will have 23 berths, and it is under the LAPSET project, which entails the road network that is from Lamu to Ethiopia. Of course, there will be rail and the pipeline. Sudan to Lamu. And of course, Kenya now is the newest rival in the mega league of transshipping business. And of course, now it will be being that this is an open sea and a natural port with a depth of 18 meters. Of course, it's one of the deepest natural harbors, and this with its state and capacity, of course, it will be giving the port of Durban in South Africa and Djibouti the run of their money. And as it stands now, the completion of this project and in the region. So as for now, we're waiting for the president to official launch. And as I'm talking to you right now, of course, 2 ships have already made a maiden call to this port. And as my cameraman will show you, the ship which you are seeing now on our screens is the from Denmark, and yes, and of course there is another ship back in the sea, and that's what we have for you. For you right now, we'll be giving you more as events unfold. Back to you, Irene.
Well, Mwandiga Michael reporting live from the county of Lamu, where he's expecting His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta to launch the Lamu port. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Je, umeomoka? Kama hujaomoka kwenye QuickBin ndio mambo yote. Hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM, ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitizama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353, alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka, kwenye QuickBin ni bidhaa bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini.
Time for Channel 1 Sports. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has likened his side's victory at Burnley to winning a semi-final that takes them to Sunday's final against Crystal Palace and the chance to qualify for the next season's Champions League. Meanwhile, Tottenham's hope of securing European football were dented as Aston Villa came from behind to claim a deserved Premier League 2-1 victory at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, with the English Premier League 2020-2021 season coming to an end this Sunday.
Mane just to help it on. Robertson's burst forward. Ball behind everybody. Big chance. 1-0. It's Firmino with the goal.
Meanwhile, Liverpool's boss Jurgen Klopp likened his side's 3-0 victory at Burnley to winning a semi-final that takes them to